been giving less of a fuck. I got a headache, I'm so fed up with the left and their stunts. From the messages they pump, a bunch of pedos peddling junk. I used to separate you, now.
Bro, I know you ain't just say a bunch of pedos, man. Didn't the Republicans? Hold on, you are making me do a lot of chat GPT today. What's going on, family? Welcome back to the channel, man. Listen, today we're gonna be checking out your boy Samson. Just dropped another joint called Tipping Point. Now I have read some of the comments. I have an idea of what's going on, some of what he said. So let's just keep this thing 100 and dive straight into the music, man. Let's get into it. Come on.
Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk and bless his family. I know the devil's hard at work. I can't even fathom all the grief and pain that y'all have went through. My thoughts are nearly impossible to explain, but I'll attempt to. I've already written like 5 intros, so many wasted paragraphs and revised pen strokes. There's just so many things I want to say, and I don't want to say I'm wrong. I don't know how many times I almost threw away this song. But I feel an obligation. I have a platform and people want my observation. This one is complicated, I go back and forth on it. The facts are distorted so much I'm half and half, I'm torn on it. Trying to grasp the scope of this, and so I'm asking if there's more to it. Reading way too much and end up actually just warping it. Too many voices echoing, reporting everything. How you supposed to comb through all these different passages and sort it? There's so much information.
And so far what he's saying is true, man. I think after that situation took place, there has been so much divisiveness and so much propaganda and false narratives being spewed out, you know what I mean? And it's hard to even try to find the truth, you know what I mean? When you're being flooded with this nonsense and people just being emotional and just everybody is kind of like taking a side. I'm the type of individual, I like to take a step back and just analyze the facts of the situation, man, before you get, emotionally tied to an event, man. You know what I mean? But he's right, though. Like, a lot of things been going on right now. A lot of left and right, it's completely down the middle now. And that whole situation kind of exposed, how America is still really divided for real. You know what I mean? When you really sit back and think about it, you know what I mean? Let's get back into it. Come on.
All these different passages and sorted. There's so much information out there, it can make you feel like you don't know what's fake or real. Way too many Facebook reels. Shit, it's almost like it's done on purpose just to make us chase our tails. I wish someone would wake me up and offer me those matrix pills so I could see through all the tints in the facade. But I can't, so I feel like I should give this up to God. Cause it's a lot, and I could use some guidance cause I'm struggling. I got 2 different sides that are inside of me just tugging. My heart tells me fuck these nasty individuals, so despicable, fucking trash, I bet they're miserable. Couldn't last in a debate, so they had to get physical. Got smashed verbally, so they resorted back to trigger pull.
Now, I don't know who he's referring to as far as the theys and the thems. The person that took out Charlie Kirk was one person. It's one individual. His father turned him in, you know what I mean? And from what we have gathered as far as what's out there, we can confirm for a fact, this kid was raised in a conservative household, man. And that's just the facts of the situation, So I know we want to pass blame to one side or the other, but a lot of what I've been watching lately is a lot of folks not taking accountability for, what appears to be your own rhetoric, you know what I mean? And so that's where we're at with it, though. Let's keep it going.
In a debate, so they had to get physical. Got smashed verbally, so they resorted back to trigger pulls. All he did was talk, he debated, that was all. Never held a position in office or made any laws. He created an organization to display his faith. He sat right in front of your face and had conversations with y'all. He spoke. He never suspended your rights, never signed a single fucking bill that affected your life. What exactly did he do that directly impacted you instead of saying a couple of sentences that you dislike?
So even right there, that's not 100% true. So Charlie Kirk initiated the Professor's Watch List in 2016. This online database aimed to document professors who, according to TPUSA, discriminated against conservative students and advised leftist propaganda in the classrooms. The list has widely been criticized for its lack of transparency and for including professors based on vague or subjective criteria. For instance, some educators were added for making critical remarks about political figures or for discussing topics like race and gun violence in ways that TPUSA deemed radical, all right? While this list does not explicitly target black professors, many individuals of African descent have been included. For example, Professor A.D. Carson from the University of Virginia, who teaches a course on black identity, was added to the list for his public commentary on race and politics. Such inclusions have raised concerns about racial bias and the potential of chilling effect on academic freedom, particularly for scholars discussing race and social justice issues. So he's been putting in some paperwork to get people, reported on this list with the hopes of getting them either terminated from their jobs. And people have argued the point that this list did indeed target black professors.
All he did was talk, he debated, that was all. Never held a position in office or made any laws. He created an organization to display his faith. He sat right in front of your face and had conversations with y'all. He spoke. He never suspended your rights, never signed a single fucking bill that affected your life. What exactly did he do that directly impacted you? Instead of saying a couple of sentences that you disliked, y'all took a couple quotes out of their context and flipped it, cut out the important parts and conveniently left them missing.
Now, that's a perfect opportunity for Samson to show a clip where he was taken out of context and then show the full video just to show how hypocritical the internet has been. And yet, to this day, nobody has done that. There are no clips displaying the full context, yet that is still a talking point to try to take away from the disparaging and racist remarks that he said in those clips. But I digress.
I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the
you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have done that before.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has created.
If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily wholesome. No one really cares when it's HR managers. No one cared when it was, just kind of paper shufflers or even engineers. But now when it's like, wait, hold on a second. You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian.
Cut out the important parts and conveniently left them missing. And even then, it still didn't sound that aggressive shit. If you thought that was radical, then we got different definitions. And you go and compare him to George Floyd, cause he was a father too. Fucking oh boy, what a wild thing to say. I don't gotta even explain. It's two way different things. This shit is not even the same.
And that's another thing I've been seeing online right now. People keep bringing up George Floyd. I don't know. Y'all tell me what that black man has to do with any of what's going on right now. I think in America, some Americans wanted that shooter to be a black person so bad. They're trying to force this narrative where they're comparing George Floyd to Charlie Kirk's situation. They were both murdered. They both had the same birthdays. That's about it, bro. That's about it. Now, everybody wants to politicize it and say, well, this was the reaction when, Charlie Kirk passed, and this is the reaction when, George Floyd passed. But you got to understand, America is founded and has deep roots in black men specifically being murdered by police and the police officers being acquitted. And so that's where you get the anger from. That's where you get the protest from. And that has nothing to do with the Charlie Kirk situation.
To say, I don't gotta even explain. It's two way different things. This shit is not even the same. You can't trust someone that you don't personally know. So I can never say for sure that Charlie Kirk would be my bro. But if I were to go off of reputation alone, I would never fucking let George Floyd into my home. And it's got nothing to do with...
Again, what does George Floyd have to do with this white dude taking out this other white dude? I don't understand the obsession with black people. It's like they want a black person to have done that so bad, they're just making up stuff as they go. I mean, I don't get it, bro.
Nah, it's more to do with his lengthy criminal record. Yeah, it's more because the drug possessions and the robberies and home invasions, I would trust him less around my property. We shouldn't make a mockery of him. I acknowledge that. Just because he was a criminal, we shouldn't pile on that. I won't say I'm glad that he's dead or claim he deserves.
Damn, that boy cannot rest in peace, man. Do y'all realize that George Floyd was murdered 5 years ago in 2020? And y'all are still in 2025 making songs about him or including him in your lyrics? I'm going to tell you what that kind of means to me. that translates to you didn't want that cop to be found guilty of what he did. You're angry about that still. And so you're trying to let out your passive aggressions in this song right now. You're like, even you yourself are trying to attach the Charlie Kirk situation to the George Floyd situation. They're not related in any way. Let that man rest in peace. Let both them men rest in peace, man. What's wrong? Y'all got something. Y'all tripping, bro.
Because he was a criminal, we shouldn't pile on that. I won't say I'm glad that he's dead or claim he deserved it, but don't act like for 1 second that this was the same person. Just check out the reactions to their deaths, quite the opposite. Look what y'all did, and look at our response to it. Instead of riots in the streets, we prayed quietly in peace. We never let our emotions go, we tied them to a leash. We never flipped and flew off the handle and got shitty, and left the town crawling with vandals and cops spitting. Shit was gritty, what we saw on the channels was not pretty. The only thing we burned was candles, not cities. So
man, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. We can't turn a blind eye, bro. After the Charlie Kirk situation, what did we actually see? Yeah, I know people want to just focus on the kumbaya, we lighting candles, but what actually took place in America? Following the Charlie Kirk's death, we had terroristic threats being called into black colleges around our nation saying, you know, we're going to do X, Y, and Z to your students, to the point where they had to close the doors and lock those kids in those colleges.
At least 7 historically black colleges and universities were forced into lockdown this week, canceling classes and ordering students to shelter in place after receiving what officials described as credible threats of violence. The warnings came just a day after conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at an event in Utah.
But y'all don't want to talk about that. There's no lyrics about that. Let's fast forward. Trey Reed found on campus, hung from a tree.
Family in Mississippi is now begging for answers after their 21-year-old was found dead, hanging from a tree at Delta State University. Campus police say the body of 21-year-old Trey Reed, a black student, was discovered by staff members on Monday morning.
And we can sit here and argue, oh, that's not really motivated by the whole situation. You sure about that? Because aren't there songs by some of your favorite artists talking about, oh, let's pin them up, string them up to a tree and let them hang to the sun. What was it? The Sundown Towns? Isn't that one of your favorite artists?
Hang 'em up high at sundown. Leave 'em swinging so the folks all know you don't mess around in our town.
My man, that's lynching. You're singing about lynching. This singer who has 54,000 followers and crashing just released this song about hanging people and lynching. Of course, he's right-wing, claiming not to be racist.
And then you got the white nationalists marching the streets as if a black person pulled the trigger, talking about white people fight back or white men fight back. Against who? Yourselves?
White man fight back! White man fight back! White man fight back!
There's just no accountability. And that's the problem. There's no accountability. And you know, it is what it is. I mean, I hate to be the one to shed some light, but there's no accountability, bro. That all took place in our nation after the Charlie Kirk situation, man. We have Americans, students being hung from trees. Come on, man. Y'all tripping.
On the channels was not pretty. The only thing we burned was candles, not cities. So get the fuck out of my face with all these comparisons. Y'all are embarrassing. We can't even call you Americans. You follow a narrative, such a typical situation. The minute something changes, these liberals switch their places. There's something wrong with you if you celebrated his death. You say the right is full of spite, but there's hella hate on the left. It's weird. It's almost like this shit melts.
That's fair. If you're upset that people celebrated his death, I get that. You know what I'm saying? Especially I get that because I sat back and watched, you know what I'm saying, white folks celebrate Trayvon Martin's death for years, making memes, making trending pictures, Skittles on the ground, cracking jokes. I've seen every time a black person has been murdered in our country, I've seen people crack jokes. And then when we got emotional about it, we were told, stop being soft, stop being snowflakes. It's just a joke. Y'all be all right. So you can't have it both ways, man. I get it. We were upset when that happened to Trayvon Martin. We were upset when we saw the video of George Floyd. and the excuses people were making of what, of X, Y, and Z and how he got murdered. And people watch the video in real time and be like, nah, it was something else. It's just a lot of stuff going on, man. But we got to stop this, though. This, I think, I get it. It's fair. It's a fair critique. If somebody's making fun of somebody that you care about and they passed away, I get it. Now you know how we feel for the last 20 years. If you don't like it, though, it's all right. You be all right, man. You be all right, B. People get shot every day, man. Come on.
Something changes, these liberals switch their places. There's something wrong with you if you celebrated his death. You say the right is full of spite, but there's hella hate on the left. It's weird, it's almost like this shit melted away your stress. I never saw somebody die and felt elated or blessed, but it makes sense. Your party's been stirring the shit. There's countless videos of politicians encouraging this. See,
name one. Drop one name. Name one left-leaning politician on video saying we condone gun violence or any type of language of that sort. We support gun violence. Name one senator, politician, or governor, mayor from the left. That's another talking point. Yet you're not going to name one. You're not going to drop a link in the comment section because that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, bro. Now, if you want to get into the people calling people Nazis, and both sides do that, man. Both sides been doing that since I've been born, dog. Both sides been doing the name calling. Are we offended by name calling now? You know what I mean? But as far as supporting gun violence and all this crazy stuff, nobody from the left has supported that. And there's nobody out there who can drop a link to a video of a senator, mayor, or governor or president from the left saying those words. Fact. Let's get back into it. Come on.
Your party's been stirring the shit. There's countless videos of politicians encouraging this. See, they rile up their base until they pile up their hatred. And now look, all of a sudden gun violence is their favorite. The minute Jimmy Kimmel got pulled from the air at night, the First Amendment became the left's most sacred, cherished right. Now no one should be punished for their words. It's so important. You're right.
I mean, it's bigger than that, though. It's a lot bigger than that. Are we going to start punishing and, canceling comedians because they make a joke about the president, or they make a joke about, or they just share their take on what happened with Charlie Kirk? Are we going to start punishing people for expressing their freedoms and their rights? You know what I mean? I thought you guys on the right, you know what I'm saying, were all about the freedom of speech. What happened?
Now no one should be punished for their words. It's so important. You're right. Imagine being murdered for it.
And that's another, in my opinion, disingenuous statement, because there has been people on the left who have been murdered in cold blood by conservative folks, man. Let's stop the cap. All you gotta do is go on Google and search it. Matter of fact, let's all read together, all right? In Minnesota on June 14th, 2025, where former State House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark Hortman, were fatally shot in their home. Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were also attacked but survived. Governor Tim Walz described the killings as a political motivated assassination. And guess who the shooter was, man? Conservative, man. Stop it, bro. No accountability.
You're right. Imagine being murdered for it. I feel like my music has been pretty moderate. I never lean too hard in one direction or the opposite. Yeah, it's obvious that I'm conservative, but watch my shit. I think I do a pretty good job at keeping my common sense. But lately I've been giving less of a fuck. I got a headache, I'm so fed up with the left and their stunts. From the messages they pump, a bunch of pedos peddling junk. I used to separate you, now
bro, I know you ain't just say a bunch of pedos, man. Didn't the Republicans? Hold on, you are making me do a lot of ChatGPT today. On September 10th, 2025, the Senate voted 51-49 to block an amendment proposed by Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer that would have mandated the release of the Jeffrey Epstein-related documents. All 51 Republicans voted to table the amendment, effectively preventing its passage. Senators Josh Hawley and Ron Paul were the only Republicans who voted with Democrats in favor of releasing those files. You can't make this shit up, bruh.
And their stunts from the messages they pump, a bunch of pedos peddling junk. I used to separate you, now I just think everyone sucks. I'll never be friends with you, ugh. Nah, fuck it, dog, I'm serious. How the fuck can you relate to somebody who cheers for this? Y'all are weird for this. I'm done salvaging relationships. I ain't picking up broken pieces off the ground and saving it. If you can't say that this is bad and just agree it's heinous, then I don't give a fuck if you unfollow me or hate this. It sucks. This shit has done massive amounts of damage. And you know, it's probably exactly how they planned it.